Happy Easter. I hope you've been enjoying all of our fun projects so far today. And we're gonna also add a little bit of science for our activities for Easter. So what I need you to do is get the baggie that has a few things in it for the science project. It also had a cotton ball and the paint palette and paintbrush. That was for our watercolor section. But what you're needing out of this is this little cup with a lid that says vinegar. And you probably could smell the vinegar as soon as you open that baggie. Whew, it has a very strong odor. And you're gonna need your little baggie that says salt on it. And then you're gonna need to find a penny. I originally put pennies in with the bags, and I had to remove them because the pennies, in fact, this bag that I have it had a penny in it that I hadn't removed. The vinegar, even though it was in the cup, but I guess the fumes from the vinegar were still getting out, it was turning the pennies kind of gross, all blue. And if you want to know why vinegar will turn a penny blue, you can Google that one and find out. But anyway, that was getting gross, so I took the pennies out. So you find a dirty penny. Ask your mom to look in her purse or pockets, your dad's pockets, look in the couch cushions, wherever you have to go. Find the dirtiest penny that you can. Make sure it's not a shiny penny. That will not work. So I have my dirty penny right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your vinegar, open it up, and you think it smelled bad. Before you took the lid off, you're really going to get a whiff of the vinegar. It's nice and odorous. And then we're going to take our salt and we're going to pour it right into the vinegar, right into this cup. So go ahead and just dump the whole thing. Now this might be kind of full. I didn't realize my vinegar was going to be so full. So be careful not to splash. I mean, if you get vinegar around, it's not going to be the end of the world. But then you're going to stir it. And I have my paintbrush from when I was doing the watercolor. So I'm just using that to stir. You can do the same, or you can get something else to stir it. It will not all dissolve, so you do not have to stir it till the salt dissolves. It just mixes it up a little bit. Then we're going to take our dirty penny and we're going to plop it right in the vinegar, and we're going to let it set and see what happens. So go ahead and watch it, or you can walk away and then come back in just a few. But if you're watching it, and it's hard for you to see here, I'll take the penny out in a minute. But the penny's getting cleaner, it's getting shinier, which is really cool. The vinegar and the salt combination actually cleans the penny and makes it shiny. It's removing all of the dirt, and that's much of the same thing that Jesus does for us. We're all human. We're not perfect by any means, and we all make mistakes. We all do bad things that might hurt somebody. Sometimes they're little mistakes, sometimes they're big mistakes, sometimes it's by accident, sometimes we do bad things on purpose. But no matter what we do, we can ask God for forgiveness. And much like the vinegar and the salt are cleaning the penny, God cleans our hearts. But while the penny is only getting clean on the outside, God's forgiveness cleans our hearts in the inside. And when God lives in our hearts, we learn to treat others with kindness and how we would want to be treated, that golden rule. Treat others as you'd want to be treated, or do unto others as you would have them do unto you, which is a little more old style language. And as we do that, we become better people, and we become like the shiny new penny. So just remember that God, when we ask God to forgive our sins, that and we truly, truly love God and we're accepting Him, then he is living in our hearts, and he's cleaning us, our hearts from the inside out, and making us better people, and changing us so that we do begin to really live by his rules and by love. God is about love. So when we live by love and treat others the way that we hope that they treat us, then we really do become shiny inside and out. And here is my shiny penny after it's been soaked in the vinegar. So, and you can use the vinegar to clean many pennies, just as God can clean many hearts. So just when you see a shiny penny, let it remind you that God is with us and that God is there for us. And when we live by the love that God gives us, that we are a shiny penny and a treasure to the whole world, and we can spread that treasure around with our actions as we spread God's love around. So just a couple of cool things to think about this Easter, about how God lives in our hearts. And I can smell the vinegar that's on my fingers. So if you don't want to pick your penny up out of your vinegar directly with your fingers, and feel free to use a spoon, because that is a strong scent. But just know that God lives in our hearts, and hopefully people can see that we are Christian and that we are spreading love just as vividly as somebody can smell this vinegar. That might be a little stretch of an analogy, but I'm going with it. So happy Easter. Enjoy the science experiment. Google it to see why it actually works, because I've said this many times, I am not a scientist, but I do find these things fascinating, and I hope you do too. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Until then, bye.